Hi, this is Chuck Utter. By the way, I'm not an actor, so don't expect to be entertained. I do have a good story, though. So, how did money, sex, and raw clerical power divide a community? There's a lot of questions that surround this. For example, how does a priest who grew up in poverty amass a $75 million fortune in today's dollars? And by the way, the IRS took it all when he died. He couldn't even find competent estate planning professionals to protect it against the tax man. He must have been a highly trained investor, right? Or was he connected to dirty money in high places? Implausible, but true. How does he not get exposed when he is found traveling with grocery bags full of cash in his trunk? How does a priest who professes and constantly preaches devotion to the Virgin Mary talk his way into bed with some of the community's best-looking women? How does he talk candidates into the convent, young, recent high school graduates, who view him as literally an apostle of Christ, into sleeping with him? How does he cover up, even to this day, the child that he fathered with a former student who had a committed relationship with another man? How does he manipulate a bishop who knew for years of his depredations to keep him in a community for 20 years? How did this man create a cult of personality that gave him the power and the money to build a church that is to this day viewed as a monument to his leadership? How does a man use this cult-like persona to build a high school sports empire that lasted for years after he was gone? How did he attract the premier coaches of his day to come to this small town of 1,000 people? Yes, I'm talking about a town of 1,000 people. What this man accomplished, especially in the way of hiding his crimes, is unbelievable. But he built an empire. In fact, can you name a coach who began in such a simple environment, who ascended to a head coaching position of an NFL team? Yes, my man found that man early in his career, and he led and built a football powerhouse. So find out, how could this all happen in the town in which I grew up? Absolutely incredible. So, that's my story. As many times as I've told it, virtually everybody said this should be a blockbuster book. Why haven't I written it earlier? Well, I just didn't feel like I had the time, the money, and the talent to do so. But better late than never. So, I really appreciate it if you'll help to fund my project. I don't think you'll be disappointed in the book. And in fact, many of the people that I've talked to and described the situation said, boy, this would be a great movie as well. So we may pursue that aspect.